You mentioned there about the size of the business, 105,000 employees, sense of belonging. Do you think it's quite difficult to define a culture in the company as big as BT? Because when I look at my own business, I'm thinking, we're trying to get a culture of collaboration, people working together, a tribe, unity. That must be really difficult in somewhere like BT. And if you're especially a new employee, you want to be part of something. How do you actually do that? How is the culture?
There's kind of there's a group culture that the CEO sets that kind of like ripples down, and what are we doing? Why are we there? What's our purpose? But actually, I think the key to BT is actually really creating your own culture in line with the company culture, very much at a local level. And actually, it involves just, I think, when I do my all hands calls, when I talk to people, I actually set out the company culture. I always remind them what that is. I set out like the personal values that I like and the personal values I would like the team to adhere to. Yeah, and I always encourage people to speak up or to be able to speak up. And my values are, they're just about integrity and honesty, and they're just about working hard, and they're just about actually doing what you say you're going to do. There's a lot around mutual respect, about you treat other people as you'd like to be treated, and there's a lot around diversity and just being inclusive. And I think you really have to work with it. If you've got teams, I've got teams in Belfast, Manchester, London, Birmingham. You've got to really double down on the fact that you're not seeing them every day. You don't have that chance to kind of chat to them, metaphorically put your arm around them. And I think you've got to really kind of instill that. With my managers, I actually sit there and we talk a lot about culture, and we actually define culture together so that we're all together in terms of what we want to do, how we want to do it, and how we behave. Yeah, but I do think that it's a tough job, right? It's a small city.
Yeah,
you've got to touch everyone in that small city, and there could be 20,000 engineers, for example, that don't even go into an office.
Really? Yeah.
So how do you most of us think about, oh, well, I can put things up on the wall, I can do it via email, I can do this and this. But actually there's a whole cohort of people that barely see an office, that have a different working pattern from us, that log on, look at my emails, check on the internet. So I do think word of mouth, and I do think actually people being advocates is really important. And ours is to connect for good, which is a really nice one. And the new CEO has really, I think, it's done some brilliant stuff around our values, and we used to have about 8 or 9 values, and sometimes you'd struggle to remember them all. And he just went, and I actually really love this. He went really simple, personal, simple, brilliant. That's it. Anyone can remember those, and actually they're really applicable. The personal bit, the simple bit, the brilliant bit is really applicable, in terms of anyone can understand those and do those. But it's something you've got to work at, and you've always got to work at, particularly if you've got dispersed teams.
Yeah. With the diversity inclusion bit, that's been a massive subject on lots of the channel chats I've had. Loads of people have got their opinions on it. Some people that come on the show, and I won't name names, but some people come on the show and just think, I get the impression from them, it's quite a tick in the box exercise. Or we'll put someone in the BAME category in here, or put someone in the female category, gender there. Yeah. How do you fix the diversity dilemma at BT? Because we spoke over lunch. It's quite difficult attracting females into our industry. It's quite difficult attracting people from ethnic minorities in our industry. In some ways, it's quite white male dominated. How do you address that? And have you got any tips for the listeners that you are actually, of anything that's working in BT? Because like you said, small city, there must be some things that are working in that organisation.
Yeah, and I think I have a metric, as everyone does, on my diversity, and you actually work hard. When I ran the mobile team that looked after mobile network operators, of all the jobs, it's probably far more engineering centric. I've really struggled to attract any diversity into that team. I would get the jobs coded so that they weren't masculine, they weren't aggressive, they weren't focused towards kind of like males. We still really, really struggled. And to be honest, I haven't found the answer to that. In my current team, I've actually got a really diverse cohort, and probably 50% of my managers are female. And actually we work really heavily on referrals, we work really heavily on people recommending other people. I think the bit we spoke about is actually, you do find in certain businesses, people want to employ people they know that can do the job 100%. And what I've actually found, and what I aim to do, is to recruit people that have the potential to do the job. And there's difference in that, right? One comes along and will tick 9 out of 10 boxes, and you're like, you know what, that's acceptable. And actually, I'm looking for someone that I know can grow into a job within 12 to 18 months, that can certainly do a minimum level when they require. But I actually recruited someone from the Bain community, and actually this person had run a service team. They were really good at running a service team. They had great potential, and within 5 minutes of meeting that person, I knew you could do a job for me. I knew you will require coaching and you will require development. But I knew that person would be superb actually once I'd hired them, so we made that hire. And so what I look for is people that have potential, not necessarily people that are slam dunk, tick in the box. And if I wanted to fill my ranks full of, and I'm one of these, so I'm castigating myself. If I wanted to fill my ranks full of people that have 25 years experience, white, middle-aged, done the rounds in various companies, that could do an okay job, I could probably do that 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But for me, I love people that you give a chance, right? Because they are twice as dedicated, twice as keen to prove you wrong, and they just have that kind of energy and enthusiasm that comes through being on a learning journey and being excited about, God, I had a brilliant customer meeting today, wasn't it fantastic? And that's the kind of energy and culture, and hopefully by taking those chances or taking those risks, and they're calculated risks, we can actually start to just increase and improve the diversity. We did talk earlier actually about the channel, and I'm a great believer that the channel, I think the channel offers immense opportunity for people. I think it's one of the few industries where you don't need a degree, you don't need this, you don't need that, where you can go to a company, you can start in either sales or service or project management, but it's really easy to demonstrate, to learn, to work your way up. And the people you interview, I would guess that probably 30, 40, 50% don't have that formal path. And they got there by sheer hard work, by sheer dedication. And I think that is one of the brilliant attributes that you get in the channel.